You're watching Fishmonger Jim. So this is going to be how to make boneless a pickerel. I would assume this could be used for pike as well, as they are both very similar. This is like a medium-sized South Jersey pickerel that I caught a couple days ago now. Yeah, it's a medium-sized pickerel. I didn't want to harvest a larger one because it's only me eating it. But truth be told, I couldn't catch a larger fish. Oh yeah, I'll put some of that footage of me catching it here. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It's 6:45 and that drag's too tight. Come on, stay on there. I am in a spot that I never even considered fishing, and thank God. I got him. Good Lord, that took a long... I started fishing at 2. Oof. I started fishing at 2. And, yeah, I fished the entire other end of the lake all day long. Come here to this end, never fished. Boom.
Boom! I'm a pickle!
Yeah, it was a very lean couple days. I spent 18 hours in my kayak, to be clear, to catch this one fish. It seems unreasonable, but it was another piece to the puzzle. Catching pickerel in the springtime on a lake that was somewhat cold. All right, so I'm gonna fillet that. I'm just gonna take the sides off of this real fast. I don't think you need to. Oh, he's got a broken spine. A broken spine or growth on the spine. Wow, that's gonna complicate things. Awesome. Okay, so a couple things. It's important that these the fillets are cold, and that they remain cold. I have the other fillet in the fridge, and that the board is dry. Otherwise, you're going to be chasing the fish around the cutting board. Slimy, really slimy fish. The Esox, the Esox species. And as far as food quality, I mean, I had eaten pickerel when I was a teenager, and I remember it being quite good, and I just tried it again last year. Yeah, last season, I had it again for the second time, and man, I'll tell you what, a fantastic food fish, like spectacular. So if you run your finger along the fillet backwards, you're going to feel a line of bones, and they run, and you can see them. Yeah, I can't really see them too well on this one. I don't think I'm going to be able to show you exactly. Here, I'll get down close, maybe you can see one or two. You can definitely hear them, right? These are the Y bones that would make this an unpleasant eating experience, and you can kind of see the meat comes up, the strata of the fat and connective tissue in the meat. It comes up and it kind of turns in this direction. Where it turns is where the bones are. And they run down to the tail. Towards the tail, they get a little wonky. They get a little wacky, a little bit hard to deal with. I've got this cut down, the one towards the tail. Yeah, we'll get to that. So the knife that you ultimately should be using would be the Dexter Russell 2333. This knife here. I only have it because I used to cut fish for a living. Real long blade, thin, very, very sharp, razor sharp. So if you get your fillet, and if you have a bunch of these, it's a good idea to line like sides up. You know, like this, the left side, let's say this is, line up a bunch of them on a wooden board that they're not going to slip around on. And like I said, very cold. So you get your Dexter Russell 2333 on the north side of that row of bones. So the bones are here, right? Bones run right down along here. You get your knife on the top side of them, and you cut into them, and the knife, like the knife will stop. That's how you know you're in the right place, because the knife won't go any further, and you don't want to press through. You want to just cut up towards the collar here. So they run straight down and then this way on the shoulder, and up towards the collar up here, they go like kind of really, really drastically that way. So you got to kind of feather the knife out when you're coming up, or you could just cut. You can just cut it off. I suppose. These are not the most sought after food fish, which blows my mind, because one of the few freshwater fish I'll consider eating now that I've had it last year. But yeah, you just want to use your. If you miss one, it's going to screw you all up, because you're going to think you're in the right place and you're not. So you want to make sure you're on the top side, and run down and out, and you do it right, and you're going to see. If you hear clicking, if you feel clicking with the knife, you're cutting through bones, and you don't want to do that. All right, so all the way down to the tail. All right, you see how far down I'm going with that cut? So you want to cut to the skin, but not through the skin. So you have this flap of meat here. And I get the lighting a little better here. You can see the bones here, these white striations in the meat. That's the bones. So now we're going to get on the other side of that row of bones. We're going to cut straight down. Oh, I missed one. Yeah, missed one bone. So I'm saying, if you miss one, you're tripping yourself up before you even start. So it's 12 o'clock to be. It's 12 p.m. 12. Yeah, it's early in the a.m. I am doing at work at 5, I think, 4 or 5. So I had to get this out of the way, as I've got construction work for Mayor Scott to go to on the next couple days. Gotta get this done. As I harvested it, I don't want to waste it. Okay, that's all bones right there, and we'll trim the tail up. That's the Y bones right there. 2 cuts. I mean, that's it. No pin bones, no rib bones. There are some bones in the tail, section, and I'll show you that in a second. Now, if you didn't have a knife like this, I'll show you how to do it with maybe the Rapala knife. Everybody's got a Rapala knife. So, in the towards the tail, and I did kind of a hack job cutting this. I'm not gonna be able to show you very easily, but so the vent of the fish, the anus, would be right about here. From about the anus back, these same bones that are on the shoulder loin are on the belly loin. Okay, so like again, if you run your finger from what would be the head towards the tail, I can feel a couple of them sticking out. And as I haven't done too many of these, oh, it's raining out? Yeah, it's raining out. How about it? yeah, as I haven't done too many of these, yeah, I'm gonna put the training wheels on and I'm gonna find them with my finger, right? So again, you get on the south side of that row of bones, and we're gonna isolate the loin, right? It's just like the shoulder loin, but on the belly. And again, I got on the wrong side of one of those bones, two of those bones, four of those bones. There they are. And it's really, I mean, it's a time-consuming process, but the meat of the pickerel is quite good. Now, these bones, this row of bones that I'm dealing with here, they probably do exist on some level up here, but they're so thin they, like they cook out. The bones, the skin, and the flesh are all comprised of collagen, and when you cook collagen, either with acid or with heat, it will, it'll decompose, it'll dissolve. So it's not necessary to go as far towards the head as I am, but that's pretty much it right there. So if you make this cut and you feel any clicking, then you got to go a little farther towards the shoulder, towards the collar rather, towards the head. But yeah, that's it. That's all the bones in a pickerel. What'd that take? I don't know, a few minutes, but explaining took me a bit of time as well. Let me get this light out of my way. And we will go ahead and skin this. And I'll show you the other side with the Rapala knife. Oh, geez, just stabbed my thumb. This knife was a gift from my son years and years ago. And I never used it because, gimmicky knife, what are you going to use that for? Use your professional knives, the 2333, 1378, and your other Dexter Russells are going to use this chintzy, tackle store knife. Tell you what, this is one useful knife. I picked it up to fillet some porgies and black sea bass one time, and yeah, it's my go-to for a lot of the smaller fish. Crappie, bluegill, white perch. It's a great knife for white perch. I wouldn't, trying to use this knife for white perch, I'd go mental. So yeah, they have their place in my cutting rack. Absolutely, holds an edge pretty well too, which is kind of surprising to me. Yeah, that's it. That's a skinless, boneless pickerel fillet. Thanks for watching. Oh, we got the other side. That's right. Let me put this on a plate in the fridge. Maybe I'll cook it when I get home today from work. Okay. The skin, I cut through that one. If I don't cut through the second one, I think I'm gonna tan the skin. Make some leather, make some cool shit like this. It's salmon skin that I tanned and then made this, my skin and knife scabbard. Oh, I got a trick for you, actually. I'm kind of glad I did a sort of hack job with the rib bones up here. So the pike and the pickerel, they have kind of feathery bones, but if you had a fish that had a very sturdy backbone and ribs, and you had some rib bones attached to pin bone still, instead of trying to come in this direction with the knife, there's two things that are going on. There's a bone coming up this way, the pin bone, and then there's a rib bone that comes up this way. When you get your knife in there this direction and you try cutting through, you're going to push the pin bone over, which is going to cut the meat. It's called gaping. And if you have a whole row of them and you cut, you're going to screw up your fillet. So a much better way to do it is to go underneath the rib bone and then come out like this. I'll show you. You go underneath the rib bones and you come out, and what that does, towards the shoulder, towards the head, the pin bone and rib bone attach. Okay, so when you come out with the knife, it breaks that sinew that connects the two. you're not cutting through bones. It's not going to dull your knife as quickly if that's important to you. And secondly, it's a whole lot easier. So that's how you do that. Well, that's how I do that anyway. There we go. Okay. Fillet around. And like I said, we'll use the knife that everybody has in their drawer. Feel for the pin bones. There they are. You can actually see these a little better on this fillet, as I did not hack it as badly. So straight down, and then lay the knife to the side while making subsequent passes out towards the shoulder. No clicking. This is not unlike boning shad, which I don't think I missed the season this year. I didn't bone any shad this year. Right, that's that. And then on the south side, subscribe to Jersey Jim Fish.
And don't forget to hit the like button on YouTube.
Right.
All right. So as I have chronic insomnia and I don't have to clock in for a few more hours, and I'm going to be away for a few days, I have the need to re-up my tanning solutions. So I just emptied them out, and wow, the results are absolutely beautiful. This is a white side of halibut that I'm tanning in pitch pine. And look at the color of it. Like the color, the texture, it's bizarre. It looks like ostrich skin, doesn't it? And this is in, the pitch pine bark liquor. And pitch pine bark, it's a almost inexhaustible. Well, I don't want to say that because mankind, almost inexhaustible source of pitch pine in the pine barrens. That's not the end of the awesomeness that I just found. Let's see, we'll go to these two next. This is a Jersey Jim Aqua Pickle halibut ribbon that I did not cut all the fat off of to see how it tans, and yeah, it's still fatty. I don't know that that's good to put in the tanning solution, to be honest with you, but color wise, beautiful. I just I need to see how this thing swims, and I'll probably take it to the lake or fluke fishing next time I go. Both of them, light side, dark side, pitch pine. This is the crappie that I did a couple weeks ago, a week ago now. Not tanned. It's tanning. It's not completely tanned. Not a whole, a little bit of the, yeah, I guess the pattern did show through, right? The black spots, the flecks. These black flecks, they're pretty visible. It's not tanned all the way through. You can see it's kind of patchy, like that's tanned. That's still silvery, fleshy. Yeah, I'm anxious to see how this turns out. To be clear, the whole reason I'm going through all this process is so that when I get a striped bass skin, I know exactly what to do with it. And these black flecks, you know, the striped bass has stripes on it. That's what I want to preserve. That's what I'm taking the time to do all this with. But wait till you see this. This is so cool. This is so cool. So this is a salmon skin, and this is done in cedar. Beautiful red ochre color to it, right?
Look at that.
Absolutely gorgeous color. When they dry, oh, look at that. Look at that.
Look at that.
They dry a lot. Oh, I can show you. Hang on a minute. Yeah, they dry a lot darker. This is the salmon skin that is dried, and this one was tanned in the pitch pine. Tanned in pitch pine, and it has an egg emulsion on both sides. And it is quite a bit darker. I almost like the other side better. As far as color, like that's absolutely beautiful, right? The color of it. Wow.
Look at you. Oh, beautiful.
That's so cool. I mean, you guessed. I mean, you can get in my demeanor with these things that I am highly entertained by these. That orange color is absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, that's the cedar salmon skin. This is the crappie skin, and you can see this one's hardly tanned. It's been sitting in the tannin solution for the tanning solution for as long as the pitch pine, but I think the next one I'm going to show you used up all the tannic acid, so this one is hardly tanned at all. We'll replenish that. This right here is a snakehead skin, again in the cedar, and that's pretty awesome. The fins are indeed tanning. They're breaking apart a bit. I kind of mangled the piss out of it when I was scaling it, though. Interesting. I'm anxious to see how this dries. And then this one here is a crappie skin that was done in oak. And I mean, I'm not going to be doing the oak anymore, so I'll put that in the pitch pine. We'll replenish these. Oh yeah, hang on a minute. One of the reasons why I broke into them is that the pickerel skin, I gotta put that in some soapy water. I'm leaving the scales on this one. The scales come off easily enough after it's begun tanning, and you're less prone to break through the skin. Pickerel has a pretty thin skin when the skin is somewhat tanned, as tanning toughens the fibrous material, that the collagen that the skin is comprised of. So I'll scale this. Maybe I'll scale it. Maybe it looks really cool with the scales on it. I don't know. Got to know what everything's about. I got to put that in soapy water. But yeah, that's about it. That is how to fillet, how to fillet and make boneless a pickerel, a delicious fish. You don't need to see me eating it to know that it's delicious. I'm telling you, it's delicious. Yeah, that's about it. Thanks for watching. Being born is a terminal illness. Get the most out of each day, people. Go fuck your hat. Bye. Yeah. That's it. Thank you, fish gods. Thank you. Thank you kindly. That is awesome.